welcome to this live chapter reading from Body Checked, Astoria Bay Thunder number 2 by C.J. Cartwright, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, Bridger. He shoots and he misses. Wow, Stan, that was a narrow miss from Thunder number 32, Bridger McKelty. That's his 4th miss in the last 2 games. Add in the 3 penalties, allegations of checking misconduct, and the injury-producing brawl from last night, and the fans want to know. Has Powerhouse Thunder enforcer Bridger McKelty peaked already? Or is this a rough patch, stemming from his disastrous personal life? Whatever it is, this can't be the direction hockey legend Maxwell Valente had in mind when he took over the team last year. A mixture of shame and rage fills me, and I hurl the remote at the flickering image on the TV screen. When the spider web cracks start from the point of impact and spread across the talking head's grinning face, I get a grim sort of satisfaction. Good. I haven't fucking peeked! I yell at the broken TV. The bright glow of my laptop shines from the couch beside me. I don't need to read the headlines again. They're burned into my freaking brain, adding to the ongoing reminder of how far I have fallen. McKelty, playboy, parties and penalties. Bridger McKelty, hockey's golden boy or gilded disaster? Drugs and orgies, exclusive look inside the bacchanal lifestyle of a hockey god. Fuck. My hand shakes as I run it through my hair and exhale. My life is imploding and I feel helpless to stop it. I've been on thin ice with the team. There are only so many antics they're willing to put up with if you don't win games. Missing shots, fights that turn into brawls, chirping instead of paying attention. If you're making goals, you get leeway. If you're missing easy shots, not so much. When Coach handed me the tapes from our last 3 games and told me to learn something from them, I could tell he was holding back. That's when you know it's bad. If they still believe you can bring it in, they yell. They do everything they can to motivate you. But when they've deemed you a liability, you don't have to be a genius to know what happens to players when they become liability. The silence is louder than words. They stop coaching you and admonishing you and move to damage control. You are no longer an asset, available to guard and protect the players and the reputation of the team. You become the thing they defend against. Judging from the tapes, the commentary, and the headlines, I'm a liability. My phone rings and I cringe as I see the familiar face on the caller ID. Part of me wants to mute it, but I know if I send her to voicemail one more time, she's liable to hop on a plane to kick my ass in person. Hi, Harriet, I answer weakly, taking a long swig of beer while I listen to her erupt in rapid-fire questions and fury. Harriet has been my agent for years. She's brash and loud. Her filter is non-existent. In a world where most sports agents aspire to be Versace or Chanel, Harriet aspires to be Waffle House. She's what you refer to as an acquired taste. I'll quit hockey before I give her up. She may not fit in with the crowd, true, but beneath the rough exterior, she's one of the fiercest negotiators in the business. Her knowledge of hockey and contract law is second to none. I first met her back when she was working with her late husband, Alan. Back then, she was an assistant agent. When he died in a freak accident, I was one of the first clients to agree to let her take over. So, as much as she yells at me like a banshee and charges me an arm and a leg, I owe my career to her. I wouldn't trust anyone else to guide me, especially out of this shit show. You're playing like a shit-filled dumpster that caught fire out there, boyo, and don't even get me started on the fecking headlines you've been generating. Have you considered being less predictable? My God. I press the cold beer bottle against my forehead and slump back into the couch. I don't know what's going on with me. My head is all messed up, I mumble. You don't know? You can't guess? She snaps back. Her fire is almost palpable. I can almost visualize her sitting at her scarred old wooden desk, leaning back in that old rickety chair that she insists is finally broken in. Her gray hair is probably wild, and a glass of red wine would be perched on the corner of her blotter, probably acting as a paperweight. Perhaps it's time to stop playing the role of company fuckboy and grow up, huh? She continues. My hackles raise at that, but I stop myself from snapping at her. She's not wrong. Bridger McKelty plays hard, on and off the ice. It's basically my entire brand, and up until now my fans had eaten it up. But when the on-the-ice part falters, even our die-hard Thunderheads lose faith. I can't lose hockey. I can't. My silence catches Harriet's attention, and she lowers her voice. Are you okay, kid? She finally asks. She almost sounds concerned. To my horror, tears prick the back of my eyes. I don't remember the last time someone asked me if I was okay. Jesus, pull it together. Yeah, no, I don't fucking know, I sigh. They give you a lot of leeway, you know. The organization lets you date your party girls, the models, and all the puck bunnies. But drugs, Bridger, drugs are a hard no. Swinging your stick at a player in retaliation, that ain't brawling, that's assault. The Thunder won't tolerate it, and your fans won't either. Especially when you're playing like absolute shite and missing the simple stuff. Anger sweeps through me again at the entire situation. I spent years of my life building up to this point in my career. Literally, years on the ice, training, pushing myself, growing as a player. Hockey is the only thing I have ever wanted. I refuse to be derailed now. Especially by my own worst enemy. Me. I didn't do any drugs, Harriet. That's not my jam, and you know it. I grit out through clenched teeth. I didn't know Lakeland had ketamine on her, or that she was dealing. She was supposed to be my arm candy for a fundraiser, and maybe a halfway decent lay if we got that far. That's it. As soon as I found it, I left. Just not before the fucking paparazzi caught it. Classy. Harriet's flat voice cuts through me like a knife. Yeah, well, that's who I am, isn't it? Bridger McKelty, a different girl on my arm every night. Just a party animal fuck-up who brawls out on the ice. The words are bitter on my tongue. Truth hurts. Harriet is silent for so long, I genuinely wonder if she had a heart attack and died. She's never silent. Bridger, my darling boy, do you still want to play professional hockey? She asks finally. I can hear the condensation in her tone even when she's trying to be maternal. My heart seizes and I clench my phone so tightly that my knuckles turn white. It's the only thing I want. Then you need to change your image. Throw yourself into some charity work, adopt a cat, help an old lady across the street. Just do something. Get some good press and start making yourself indispensable to the Thunder because, kid, if you keep messing up, your head is going to be on the chopping block and then there ain't nothing I can do to save you then. Pacing around my apartment, I nod as she outlines her new plan for my image revamp. Harriet is a lot of things, but no one can ever accuse her of not being thorough. She tells me she's hired a new assistant to manage my social media and take back the narrative. The plan is to use my fame to my advantage. The more she talks, the calmer I feel. It's why I pay her the big bucks. No matter what kind of scrape I can get myself into, Harriet has a plan to extricate me from it. She has a sixth sense that seems to know exactly how to spin it. The girls all love you, my boy. You're a walking wet dream, she cackles at me. I'm sending Maria to you. She's going to help you redefine your image. With her help, you're going to go from bad boy to charitable sex god. Mark my words. I smiled for the first time. Harriet has a plan to save me from myself. But, kid, she warns as we get ready to sign off, you're a role model. The league and the team won't tolerate another drug-fueled orgy headline. Know that. Yes, ma'am, no more party girls. Positive headlines only. That's my boy. Her gravelly voice has a hint of a smile in it. Make me proud.